Okay, here's a headline that's going to grab your attention. Ready? Almost half of Americans die nearly broke. That article is from a recent USA Today, and it highlights the importance, really, of saving early and making sure you have a structured retirement plan. I know that sounds really dark, but here to talk about it and lighten things up is today's For Your Money expert, Adam Wolf. Adam is one of the area's leading financial advisors, and he joins us every single Monday here on River City Live so we can talk about retirement and how to avoid being a part of that statistic. And Adam, good morning. That is a dark, scary thing to hear. Is that a newer development?
Well, good morning. Thanks for having me.
Sure.
Yeah, that's pretty difficult to sort of stomach that headline, but you know, it's not necessarily a newer development, but it was a little bit different in the past. In the past, a lot of folks who worked were, you know, they were subject to a pension, a defined benefit pension, meaning a set amount of money coming in if they worked enough years with an employer. That's sort of been put off you know, basically the future through defined contribution plans like 401ks, where you have to control it yourself, and then over time, and then we live in a consumer society, it's becoming more and more that way. So it's a lot about, you know, we need the instant gratification versus the delayed, you know, gratification.
So we don't want that to happen. We want everybody to be as well off as they would have been if somebody were instructing them, this is your pension and you have no choice in the matter.
Correct.
So what can we do then to beat the odds and be successful in retirement?
We have to start early, you know, start as early as possible to put money away, to save and accumulate during the years where you're working. You know, as we get closer to retirement, we need to start looking at the risk levels within our overall retirement to say, you know, are we taking too much risk? Because there are three major factors that can sort of destroy or stop someone's retirement from successfully becoming reality. And one is fees, having too much fees built in to your retirement. It allows for more money in the pockets of the advisors versus yours over time. That could be tens of thousands of dollars. Also risk, having too much risk in the market. And a third factor is our taxes, and taxes can eat away at some of these retirement programs and retirement plans. So being aware of that, that's how you get a good start.
You know, I always nod and smile at you when you talk about those things, and they make sense, but in a million years, I would never be able to sit down, look at where I am, and know whether or not these are all things that I've touched on. That's where somebody who's an expert can come in and help you out. But here's what I love. You always talk about winning in retirement. It's never about surviving retirement. It's about winning. What does that mean for you and your clients to win in retirement?
Winning is getting the most out of your retirement, that, you know, your savings, your income that you can get out of retirement, and not having to worry that, you know, the next market crash is going to subject your overall savings to more loss than you want to have. You know, saving on taxes, and basically having the lowest fee structure possible to have this money last as long as possible, that's winning. So, you know, you don't do your own open heart surgery. You don't go to the dentist yourself and get your own implants yourself. Hiring somebody like myself, a seasoned professional who concentrates in retirement, who specializes in retirement, is a good start to sort of diagnose what you want to have happen, and then winning and making those goals a reality.
I remember when retirement seemed so unbelievably far off, and now it's still far off for me, but it's not nearly as far away in the future as I used to feel like it was, and I'm sure that's the case for a lot of our viewers. So let's talk about giving them a retirement readiness review with you, which covers everything you just talked about, looking at fees and where people are at.
Yeah, so we get through the meat and potatoes of your overall plan, where you want to go with your plan, but first looking at how much you're paying in fees. Is it excessive? A lot of times I see, and people are paying more than they need to, tens of thousands of dollars over their course of their retirement. We look at the actual risk. We're now in an 8.5-year bull market cycle. We haven't had one of these. This is actually the second one on record that we've had. So looking at how much things have run up and possibly taking some of the gains off the table and locking in those gains, that's a good thing. And then we also look at the tax strategy within the overall account. So we're going to give all this to our folks and viewers complimentary.
Well, 10 people are going to be getting that, actually. So if you call 904-232-8760. Again, 232-8760. You can go to wolfretirement.com too to see that number again. If you are a qualified viewer of River City Live, you're going to get that for free if you're one of the first 10 to call. So call right away. Now, Adam has 2 locations that are convenient to you. There's one in Jacksonville. There's one in Clay County. But you know, you'd drive for this kind of great information anyway, but it's still nice and convenient. Adam, thank you so much. We are so looking forward to your next visit. Bring us something more upbeat.
Yeah,
you
sure.
did a good job turning it around for us.
It was pretty
That's
depressing.
for sure.
Thanks, Eden.
We'll be back.